Are we on? I think we are.
I think we are.
Happy Friday, Cookbook Love family, and we're here on this Friday with another edition of our Cookbook of the Week and Hat
of the Week. I'm feeling very fancy today. As you can see, I paired my hat with a bit of jewels. Let's show you this hat close up. This kind of is reminiscent of the first hat of the week, which was pink, but it had these same kind of flowers, silk flowers with lots of detail. Some big ones on top. They're kind of like daisies, I think. The inside here, you can see, is a sort of a woven material that acts as the base, and then each of these sides has these, comes down in points, which sort of sticks in your skull a little. I'm thinking that ladies used to have to put up with a lot of crud to deal with our hats, but maybe I just have to adjust it a little bit. But yeah, very fancy. So this is the hat of the week.
I wonder what year it is. Do you have any idea?
I don't know. I should Google that.
It looks quite elegant. Is that why you've got the pearls today?
All glammed up because it almost has a bridal feel, doesn't it? I don't know. I've got two hats that remind me of hats that could have been worn as wedding dress accompaniments. So I don't know. But anyway, that's the hat of the week.
I like it. Fancy.
Fancy hat. And the cookbook of the week is this little guy. It's called It's a Picnic by Nancy Fair McIntyre. And it was written in 69 or 64?
I saw 69 somewhere.
69. This looks like it's the first edition. We start right off with a bang because if you look at this picture on the front, it's a picnic, but this appears to be Adam and Eve. There's an apple tree. They've got bare feet. The female is reaching up, and the male, presumably Adam, is just sitting there smiling, even though he knows this is a big mistake. The inside front cover also includes this cute little worm. It's the same illustration, but cute little bird, with catching a worm. So it must be early in the day, obviously, because that's when
you catch the worms.
You catch it. It's illustrated by Abner Graboff. Did you find anything about who this author is? I don't know if you...
I started looking it up. I know that she has at least 4 books, but I have to look more into who she is.
Yeah, so we'll let you know.
Biography.
The contents here. We can tell you what kinds of picnics we'll be talking about. We've got picnic classics, banquets in a basket. So those are like fancy ones. Picnics afloat, apparently if you're on a boat. Pocket picnics if you're going to go on hikes or Honda hops, they call them. Camper cookery, the sportsman's lunchbox for fishermen and skiing, things like that. Motel breakfast. So I'm looking forward to that one. That one could be interesting. There's a section on drinks and then a section on how to wrap your food and prepare it, that kind of stuff.
Is that her on the back?
Oh yeah, let's show you what Nancy Fair McIntyre looks like. There she is. She's on a beach. She's got bare feet, and it's probably hurting her feet with those rocks, I would imagine. She's got what looks like a loaf of bread in her basket. Doesn't look like a full picnic to me. If so, it's very bread heavy and wine light. Not sure. Here's another of these cute, charming little illustrations with the happy family bouncing off into the sunshine to, and look at, there's like a little cow or something in the background underneath that sun. Do you see that? It's kind of funny. And her writing is a little bit stilted. The description sounds, it says it's a zippy style, but let's see if you consider this zippy. The old-fashioned family picnic is a sentimental repast that every American knows by heart, from the deviled eggs to the watermelon. This familial feast has sparked some great picnic classics, foods that typify the wholesome charm of the American kitchen. While the cooking is traditional and need not be routine or unimaginative, the homespun picnic won its acclaim on specialties that were equal of any Epicurean dish.
Stilted.
It's stilted, not zippy. I don't consider that zippy. Maybe it's fine.
Was it for the time? No, 69.
You could be zippier than that.
I think so.
All right, here's an example.
I can be zippier than asleep.
You can be zippy. You are zippier than us. Here is an interesting recipe for walnut cheeseburgers. So it's got ground beef and a cup of cheddar and a half a cup of chopped walnuts. So I guess that just adds texture. I mean, it doesn't sound horrible.
No, different. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah. Here's another super cute little illustration with everybody marching up the mountain. This is the fancy one, so apparently they're being waited on. And once again, there's an animal in this distance. This time it looks like a little goat leaping on a mountain.
Every cookbook needs.
Every cookbook needs at least one goat. Okay, this one. It's called Grandstand Snacks. This looks like this football player did not have a good game, but the onlookers are happy. And the intro is kind of funny. It says, the strenuous spectator sport of vendor hailing demands perfect timing, powerful lungs, and a ruthless will to win. Vendors are notoriously myopic and must be flagged down by a judo chop.
Wow.
If you win this game, your trophy is one rubbery hot dog of dubious pedigree on a cold, stale bun.
A judo chop.
So last time you were at a ballpark, I didn't find the vendors that hard to reach. I mean,
maybe that's the zippy part. Violence at the ballpark.
Finally, the zippiness.
We found the zippiness.
Not what I anticipated. Frankly, she doesn't. Once again, I'll remind you what she looks like. She doesn't look like a judo chop kind of,
a champion
kind of woman, but hey,
it's the quiet ones.
Let's see. Where's my page? Oh, here we go. Picnics afloat. We've got mom and dad in one boat and the kids kind of behind them. But, you know,
are they swimming?
The kids' table. No, they're tied in a little.
Oh, it's like the kids' table, a little dinghy.
A little kids' boat. So that's totally safe. Okay, one more recipe example. Oh, so this one is called the baked bean sandwich, and
we just talked about that.
We did this interview on a very cool podcast called That Sounds Tasty, because it's a combination of food talk and music talk with Michael Dane. So we shared that podcast today. And we also have a link to his website and his Twitter account if you want to follow it there. He's a comedian. He was entertaining. It's called
fun.
That Sounds Tasty. Or Sounds Tasty or That Sounds Tasty?
Sounds tasty.
Sounds Tasty. And one of his questions was how often we cook from vintage cookbooks and what might have been in the older recipe. And a few years ago when we were guest curators at this regional museum and did a kitchen and the culture exhibit, we made a recipe for the Depression era, which was baked bean sandwiches.
I was surprised. Michael sounded a little turned off by it.
He did.
I was surprised. They were quite tasty.
They're really good, actually. So this one is 1 can of Boston baked beans. You can use whatever baked beans that you want. 2 tablespoons grated onion, some chili sauce, some butter, and pumpernickel. So, yeah, assemble your sandwich and eat it up. And they were pretty good.
Well, and if you do it, we want pictures.
I need you to have
People are going to be surprised. They're going to say, what are you doing? And then you're going to taste and go, wow, maybe they knew what they were doing.
Have you guys had bean sandwiches before? They're
That's
actually good. Okay, one last recipe for you here. This one's called Poker Players Peanut Butter. And it's a peanut butter sandwich. It says, the peanut butter sandwich that goes to the poker game with the boys has to be nourishing. This is a strenuous sport. It has to be man-sized and lusty. A lusty peanut butter sandwich. This poker game picnic special provides enough for the gang. So apparently when your man goes off to play poker, you're supposed to send him with sandwiches?
Lusty ones.
Lusty sandwiches. Last thing I'd want to send to a poker game is lusty
Something
sandwiches.
lusty.
But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The recipe...
What makes a sandwich lusty?
Okay, you be the judge after I tell you what the ingredients are.
Okay.
You're putting you're assembling the sandwich on pumpernickel once again. And you spread peanut butter on the pumpernickel. Then you put bologna on top of the peanut butter. And then you put sliced sweet red onion on top of the bologna. You throw the top piece of bread on, and there you have it.
It all makes you lust for another kind of sandwich.
Lusty, right? You're lusting for some jelly.
In my opinion,
just jelly.
Some
That's
PB&J.
So this is a peanut butter bologna and onion sandwich on pumpernickel.
That's different.
Well, these are some of the things you can expect with It's a Picnic cookbook this week.
One of the things I read about her cookbooks that she often tells you what kind of wine to pair with your meal. So I'll be curious if that's in there, because that would be fun.
There is a section at the back on wines, on drinks, and it talks about a bunch of different kinds of wines. Yes, there's a pairing thing here. Dish, steak au poivre. Try a California Gamay or a Saint Julien.
Well, look at there.
White veal stew, typical picnic food. A New York State Riesling or a Schloss Johannesburger. These are wines I don't even know.
Well, that gives me another reason to like this cookbook, because it is Friday and we do like wine o'clock sometimes.
And it's almost 1 o'clock.
It is almost 1 o'clock.
So we will see you again next week with another cookbook of the week. And meanwhile, stay tuned for this little gem. It's a picnic. It's July.
Sharing it all week. Share your picnic ideas with us and what you think about the recipes we share. And if any of you out there make a baked bean sandwich, we got to see it.
Or a peanut butter and bologna sandwich. You can convince us that's good.
All right, everybody. We love you. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Friday.
Take care. Bye-bye.